Some of these interiors are absolutely amazing. Would you believe me if I told you that these are constructed using Siniat plasterboard? They are. I want to show you how to build interiors exactly like these using Siniat plasterboard. Welcome to Mali Building Systems How-To video series. This is the first in the Siniat walling series. In this video, we will be showing you how to install a basic Siniat drywall. Firstly, you need to ensure that you wear the correct PPE. Safety is a priority for us at Mali Building Systems, and we always want to ensure that you achieve an injury-free installation. Personal protective equipment include a high visibility overall, safety shoes, eye protection, ear protection, a hard hat, hand protection, and a dust mask. For the tools, the following tools will be required to complete the job: a tape measure, tin snips, a builder's square, an engineering square, a spirit level, a utility knife, a chalk line, a plumb bob, an impact drill, a cordless drill, a carpenter's pencil, and a screwdriver. Finally, what I wanted to show you, our Siniat product. This is our Siniat 12mm plasterboard, our Siniat master frame stud and track, available in various lengths and widths. It is lightweight gauge metal, our Siniat corner beads, our 25mm drywall screws, our 10 by 16mm wafer tack screws, our Siniat fiber tape, our insulation, namely the glass wool and the polyester wool. Before you begin, it is important to have the design and drawing specifications. This will be your guideline in the building of the structure. Now that we have the correct PPE, the correct tools, and a plan, we can begin with the actual installation. Firstly, we begin with the single layer installation. Set out the layout of the walls on the floor. Determine and mark the wall position and make allowance for openings. Cut the Siniat master frame track to the correct length using tin snips. Fix the Siniat master frame tracks at 600mm centers to the floor using suitable fittings. And now to install the studs. Measure the wall height and cut the Siniat master frame studs to size. Insert the Siniat master frame studs onto the tracks and twist into position. Ensure the stud is plumb against the wall. Use a spirit level to ensure that the studs are vertical and square. Now measure the length of the top track you require. Cut the length you require from a Siniat master frame track. The top track and the bottom track are exactly the same component, but the top track is installed with the flanges facing downwards. Clamp the floor track and the studs together with a vice grip and fasten the stud flanges to each flange of the bottom track using Siniat wafer tack screws and a screw gun. Insert the top track into the studs you already installed. After making sure that the floor track and the top track are in line and level with each other, the top track can now be fixed to the structure, that is, the concrete slab or the steel structure. The rest of the studs can now all be cut to the length required to insert into the top and bottom tracks or 600mm centers. Twist all the studs into position. Here's a wonderful tip. After you've put on your Siniat plasterboard, you will not be able to see the studs and their position. So a trick that guys use out in the industry is that you will mark on the floor so that you can always get the position of where your studs are. And now we're ready to start cladding with the Siniat plasterboard. Measure the height of the boards required and deduct 10 millimeters for possible water ingress and expansion at the bottom of your wall. Always cut the board with the brown face facing downwards. Here's a safety tip. Whenever you're using a sharp utility knife, try to cut away from you or past your body, never towards you. Using a straight edge, cut the boards to size with a utility knife. Edges must be cut neatly. Clean the cut edges of the boards. Mark the screw positions on the face of the board using a tape measure and chalk line. Remember to leave a 10 millimeter gap between the floor and the bottom edge of the board. Fit the board into position. Always remember to look at the paper color when fitting it. The brown face should always face the studs. Fix the board using drywall screws. Screw spacing connecting the boards to the stud must never be more than 220 millimeters apart. Here's a little tip. To ensure that you adhere to the 220 millimeter spacing guideline, I always use the tip of my pinky to the tip of my thumb. Install the boards on the face of the wall, leaving a 2 millimeter gap between each board. If insulation is required, install the insulation in the cavity before cladding the opposite side. Use a utility knife and straight edge to cut the insulation where required. Make sure that there are no gaps in the insulation. After installing the insulation, the rest of the boards can be installed using screw spacing not exceeding 220 millimeter centers using Siniat drywall screws. All tapered edges to be jointed with Siniat fiber tape. Install the fiber tape on the tapered edges of the board. Apply Siniat jointing compound to the joints using a 150 millimeter taping knife and let the first layer dry completely. Fill all the screw heads using Siniat jointing compound. Once this is dry, apply the second coat of your Siniat jointing compound. When dry, sand using P80 grit sandpaper. Great! Now your wall is done. It is ready to receive your desired decoration or wall finish.